Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
It's a Thursday. It's my favorite day of the week. It means that we're almost at that weekend slate. It means it's Family Feud day. It means it's almost a content day at Fenway if the Sox are in town. A lot of good things happen. Actually, Thursday is usually the day that I go to that diner by myself and just fuck off for it's awesome. I feel like that's probably something that once you get to your mid 30s, early 40s, like if you get to just go and do something by yourself, what a treat. I mean, that's Thursday for me. And I'm usually celebrating a Family Feud victory by myself by the time I get to that diner.
Fact. I got to say, solo diner, one of the better solo missions to go on. For me, solo movie trip.
Yeah.
Like to find yourself in a movie theater by yourself. Like, I'll be honest, you've probably had a rough day or you've had a great day. Like things are just shaping up perfectly. You're like, this is fantastic. Kids are accounted for. Wife's accounted for. I want to go watch F1 by myself in IMAX and not be fucking bothered with a bathroom break. You're damn right. I don't want to catch a fucking stray Sour Patch Cat in my ear. Like, no, this is fantastic. Right. I love it.
I've only done a solo movie trip one time.
Really?
That was it.
Jayhay and I used to work with a guy who would take many a movie trip during what some would call primetime viewing hours. Like if you were working on a baseball show, one would think you would watch the baseball, but no, great opportunity to watch the movies and not the baseball. So,
and that's why we love Greg.
Yeah, I mean, he talks about baseball like he's watching movies instead of baseball. Fucking guy.
Yeah, so big Thursday episode. I think that there's a team that we've been getting yelled at for not talking about enough that we're going to talk right off rip about. And Astros fans, it's not you.
Oh, Freddie bullied
It's
you.
Freddie. Yeah,
Freddie bullied
fuck
you.
Freddie. Like Freddie will be like, when are you going to talk about my Astros? When are you going to talk about my Astros? Like, Freddie, if you don't know who Freddie is, he is an Astros fan who never misses an episode, even back to the starting 9 days, super supportive, diehard BID starting 9 guy. Big Astros fan, but he's also just a huge asshole.
Yep.
He'll be in the chat for all the live streams, and then he's in your DMs. He's up in your DMs chirping about the Stros. And think about it this way, like up until last year, they've been in the ALCS every year since 2017. That's a lot of ammo for Freddie. I'm fucking sick of it,
Freddie's adolescents have been like just playoff game after playoff game after playoff. Yeah, so Freddie is, and you know what? This is credit to Freddie's parents too, because they're probably assholes because they grew up and raised a proper asshole. So congratulations to Freddie and your asshole parents, because you guys are all asshole Astros fans. But you know what? The world needs fans like that, Jared, because here we are,
no doubt,
talking about the Astros, who once again have taken ownership of the AL West, the sons of bitches.
The AL.
The AL period, I guess. And let's not forget that this is all happening for them without their best player.
They have the exact same record now. And by the way, everyone, rightfully so, we've been pumping the tires to the Detroit Tigers all year. How about the Toronto Blue Jays? The Blue Jays and the Astros have the best record in the American League. They are both 60-42. Obviously, the Blue Jays get to stat pad. They're playing the Yankees. It's kind of like a bye series for them. But the Astros are 60-42. The Blue Jays are 60-42. They have a half game lead over the Tigers for the best record in the American League. But yeah, I'd like to hone in on the Astros. I know we've given the Blue Jays plenty of love in recent weeks, but I like to hone in on the Houston Astros for what they've been able to accomplish, not just getting to this point. But let's go back to the start of the year. What was the narrative around the Houston Astros at the start of the year?
What do you mean in terms of their postseason hope?
Was anyone saying that we would open up the second half of the season and the Houston Astros would have the best record in the American League?
No, this was the conversation we were having is that this was as good of an opportunity as anybody was going to have in this division, it felt like, to dethrone the Houston Astros. I mean, we can start with, I'll start with what I said before we ever saw first pitch, which was the Seattle Mariners were going to be in a position to take charge of this division. And hopefully one day they were able to go put themselves in a spot where things would shape up even more so for them offensively. I mean, we've had that conversation ad nauseum. And the fact that the Texas Rangers, we had the conversation. I remember having it about DeGrom, about what can you really realistically expect from Jacob DeGrom. And if you were to get that, don't you think that would help the Texas Rangers? Because I believe we had a conversation about DeGrom making maybe 10 to 15 starts, 20 at max. Well, we're there. And he has been absolutely fucking disgusting. Just watched it again. But they are nowhere near where the Houston Astros are at in this division. So the Houston Astros, and for whatever extent we want to entertain the Angels as being a viable competitor in this division, that is what it is. Unfortunately, the Athletics have fallen on their face in terms of the outside chance that a lot of people, myself included, gave them to make any sort of postseason appearance. But the Astros have just done what good teams that understand how to win baseball games collectively have done. And they've done just that. They have taken what they're capable of on the mound from a starting pitching perspective, and they have been able to parlay that into allowing what the offense is doing in terms of, you're talking about a team, 259 team average, second best in baseball. Their 324 on base is sixth in baseball. They don't strike out. They're not absolutely bludgeoning the baseball, but they've got some thump in there. There's no doubt about that. And to my point about getting a Yordan Alvarez back, you get him back. I mean, you're injecting fucking 40 plus homer potential into the middle of your lineup. So there's a lot of things that are going very well for the Houston Astros. And I think a lot of it has to do with just the veteran presence that they have that has helped stabilize them.
So the reason why I think a lot of us looked at the Astros and said maybe it's not their year, losing Alex Bregman hurts a lot. Trading Kyle Tucker hurts a lot. And Mr. Pena with an injury, Yordan Alvarez with an injury. They've won 4 straight to achieve the top spot in the American League. Jayhay, how are they doing this? Because when you look at their lineups recently, you're like, where's the threat? Where is the guy that I'm supposed to be like, got a pitcher on? Can't let this guy beat us. They don't have that guy. How are they winning all these games?
Well, and even there was a pretty prolonged stretch from early June to early July where Cam Smith, the main return in the Kyle Tucker trade, looked like he was maybe not permanently that guy, but he was playing like that guy for and very exciting baseball. He had 345 with an OPS north of 900 over that month. He's cooled considerably. He's hitting 105 with a 341 over his last 10. So maybe there's still some growth there. But to answer your question, how are they doing this? I think it's the way that a lot of teams outperform expectations relative to what they went into. And that's by having a bullpen that is fucking dominant. And We've given the Padres bullpen credit at different points this season for being arguably the best in baseball. I think you can make an equally compelling, maybe even more so compelling case that statistically, actually, the Astros bullpen has been the best in baseball, or if not that, then the best in the American League. And while some of those names are guys that have been in this bullpen and we've heard of before, Hader, Abreu, others are guys that maybe we've heard of before, but who haven't necessarily been this level of electric. Stephen Okert being an example, Brian King, another guy who has thrown an enormous number of innings out of the pen for them at a very high level of effectiveness, Bennett Sousa. So I wasn't necessarily accounting for the fact that they would have the best bullpen. And in fact, to draw a comparison directly to the Mariners, who is the team that all of us picked to beat the Astros in this division, I actually thought if one of the teams would produce the league best or AL best bullpen, it was more likely to be the Mariners. And I think we might have said something along those lines in the season preview. So like you have to give the Astros credit for that as well. And if you look at the pitching staff as a whole, factoring in the starting rotation, you're looking at one of the very best in all of baseball, fifth, sixth, whatever it might be in all of baseball. And there are some real proven commodities in that rotation. And it's not breaking news to say that you put Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown in a short series, and that's as dynamic as I think almost any 1-2 punch in baseball might be, or in the AL. So yeah, I think I think I said this division's over a week ago. That was obviously late in correctly calling where this is at, but I think I don't see what the Mariners are better than the Astros at this point. And to me, that means that the division is probably over.
Well, I think that the Mariners have a deeper starting rotation when healthy. I'm not sure that there's really much of a question about that, but that is why I think if the Astros do fancy themselves as a team who can make a deeper run, the Astros might be a team who need to identify another starter that they feel that much more comfortable plugging into that DS-CS conversation. But where the Astros are at, like starting pitching wise, what are you getting from your starting pitchers? Well, you're getting length, right? This is a team who, for their starters, the fifth most innings in baseball at 558 and a third. Their 3.77 ERA for starting is 8 in baseball, but the bullpen, the 3.29 ERA, fourth best mark in the game, and their 10.4 K per 9 is the best in baseball. So nobody featuring more swing and miss coming out of the bullpen than the Houston Astros. I just for me, it's just a matter of this group having been together and understanding how to win baseball games in the moment.
Have they though? There's so much turnover.
Well, no, just because other guys have left the building doesn't mean that these guys haven't been in the room. They just haven't maybe had the responsibility that they have now, that they are taking care of.
It's crazy to me because I remember those shitty 100 plus loss Astros teams, and to have gone from that to switching leagues, like they were a National League team coming to the American League, tanking, getting draft picks, hitting on these draft picks, pretty much all of them except for one, no disrespect. But to have that core and not have any like rebuild window, if you had told me in I guess 2019 that, hey, this Astros run, it's going to be Springer, Bregman, Correa, Altuve, like all these guys, like they're gonna be obviously the spine, the backboard of this championship window that they have. But one day, all of them will be gone, except for Jose Altuve, who by then will be in his mid to late 30s, and they will still be one of the best, if not the best team in the American League. And you'll just be like, how? Well, where was the rebuild? How did the rebuild go? How bad were the down years? Oh, there weren't any. Like even when they had their stretch of being in the ALCS every single year, when that stretch ended, they still made the postseason that year. So like there was no window of, hey, let's retool here. And even when you look at like Kyle Tucker is a different case, because Kyle Tucker is probably the first guy of that core where they were like, let's trade him and get something for him before he leaves us in free agency. Every other guy just left in free agency. They didn't get anything for any of those guys.
I also think sorry, go ahead, Dave.
No, go ahead.
No, I think you're right. And that's the roster turnover side. I also think it's interesting that to some degree it's proven manager proof too, or like it doesn't matter necessarily
proof.
Quote unquote, who's and that was going to be exactly my next point. Executive proof too. And it's like, and I know the trauma was self-inflicted, and I'm not trying to generate any level of sympathy for the Houston Astros, but I do think we've moved on pretty quickly from the idea that the the organizational trauma that was experienced in wake of the cheating scandal, like you lost your manager, you lost, the supposed architect in the front office, like it's just kept going since then. And it might not be at the same level of pure dominance that it once was, but that's without the same level of like high-end talent populating the roster as well. It's just, I think like they've offered no window for anybody else to get involved here other than the COVID year. And then they still went to the ALCS after going below 500 during the regular season. So it's like, well, that feels fucking unfair too, And
almost went to the World Series.
Right.
If us three are handed the recipe to make Coca-Cola, I like our chances of being able to put our heads together and duplicate that. I like our chances of being able to execute that recipe. Even if we are three completely different cooks now in the kitchen, being responsible for executing that recipe. And that's what happened, is they have the recipe. They've got a recipe that they're confident in. And so it doesn't matter who is writing out the lineup. It doesn't matter who is sort of putting these players in place. I think this really, truly does speak to what the Astros are able to do developmental wise. And when it comes to being able to identify how to close the competitive gaps between them and their opponent, I don't know that there's many teams that are better than the Houston Astros in being able to do that. So that's something that you have to give real credit to.
Yeah, no, you're right. They're on the very short list for the greatest divisional dynasties, or however we want to phrase what they've done in the AL West over this period, or league runs. It's basically them, what the Dodgers have done recently, and the old Braves, right? Yeah, that's in terms of consecutive years of dominance. That's basically the list. If the Yankees, for what they've done with the AL East over a longer period of time is a little bit of a different thing, or the very contracted period of time as well. But like, it's a very short list is my point. And in all of those previous instances, I believe, they were guided by the same principal people for basically the entire time, right? And I just think it's interesting. And I think what Dallas is saying is right. This isn't in contrast to that. I just think it's interesting that not only have they had three managers in Hinch, Baker, and Espada, but like the front office turnover as well. And like, I at least thought that some of the secret sauce would get lost in the mix or whatever when some of that shakeup occurred, or when the more heavy turnover a couple of years later happened. But it doesn't seem to. And while I think most of the credit falls with the Astros, the vast majority of it, because as I said earlier, they haven't really offered, or as you guys said, they haven't really offered that window for any other team to really get in the mix and take advantage here. But I also think part of it is the division that they play in, and that other than a pop-up year from the Rangers in a year where they finished tied, right, with the Astros in the division at the end. Yeah. So at a pretty low bar to win the division at 90 wins, like other than that one year, nobody recently has really stepped forward in the West to challenge them. And the last team that felt like a sustained challenger to them, honestly, in my head, is like the Rangers pre-Astros. Like, who has been good during this period?
What about the fact that the Seattle Mariners ended their playoff drought in 2022, but were eliminated from the postseason by the Astros?
Yeah.
Yes. And like that's hard luck for them. All due respect to them that year, though, like the Astros won 106 fucking games that year. They were 16 games better than the Mariners. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, like the Mariners are the number one disappointment as it relates to this. I think we're all on the same page about that. I think we've kept expecting that team to punch through at least for a season by the Astros. But the other part of it is that the Angels are chronically mismanaged, and the A's are their own odyssey that we've talked about certainly enough on this podcast. And really, outside of that 1 year for the Rangers, what has that team done in this Chris Young post John Daniels era? I mean, I say other than win a World Series. I'm not trying to be dismissive of winning a World Series. That's literally what it's all about. But if we're talking about year in, year out, competing for divisions, or who are the Astros competing against, the Rangers have largely been disappointing or mediocre during this entire run.
Yeah. Well, Freddie, you fucking happy, dick? It's your Astros talk. By the way, they did sweep the D-backs. Like that's why we're talking about them today. Outside of the 4-game winning streak, the getting to the best record in the American League, they just swept the D-backs. And the reason why that's also interesting is if the D-backs continue to fall out of it, then Mike Hazen the other day was talking about how like things change day to day. Who knows where we're going to be if they continue to lose? I mean, at the time, I think that they were 500. They might be 3 or 4 games under now. So they might have a more defined path come the trade deadline. And they're one of those teams that I think a lot of contending teams are circling, saying there's some interesting pieces here. There are some pieces that could help us. Eugenio Suarez being the most popular, but I don't think that the list stops there. I think there's other guys that teams could be interested in, and the D-backs are a team to look at, especially now after getting swept by the best team in the American League, the Houston Astros. We briefly touched on the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays are in the same spot as the Houston Astros record-wise. They're both sitting atop the American League in terms of winning percentage. That's because the Blue Jays took yet another series from the New York Yankees. And I ran into the John Boy guys at the All-Star game. I saw Jimmy, I saw Jake, and it's always fascinating that the relationship that they have with Aaron Boone, watching it from afar, knowing all parties, but then seeing the content where Booney is trying not to have a mental breakdown answering some of the questions. It's very funny. But I think they did a good job asking the question. And I think that Aaron Boone did a good job of being authentic in his answer. And it was more along the lines of like, it's similar to the conversation that we had with Jarren Duran on Section 10 when he came here, did the interview about players caring. And it just feels like, the Toronto Blue Jays wanted it more because Vladdy slid headfirst into home plate and was more animated. And after the games, Yankee players are getting asked questions and they're answering it very nonchalantly or very dismissively, with low energy. And Dallas, you being the former player, what is like a good indicator of this team wanted it more? Is there an indicator at all?
Yeah, sure. There are lots of indicators. And I think what you're referring to is George Springer, the Springer slide.
The one that Jake mentioned was the Vladdy slide. But
okay.
Whatever. Either one, whatever stood out to you.
It's little things. It's little things like that. It's little things like your teammates up on the top step when you're hitting. Right? Everybody's involved. Everybody is involved. Little things like your teammates getting up for you when you're on defense, 2 outs, and you got guys on the rail. Just the small acknowledgments of, a productive out. Things like that. Those are small little indicators on whether or not a team is paying attention in the moment. Do we understand? Have we placed priority on execution here? That's what you can really start to identify is when you don't see guys like almost huddling up at the end of the rail to get to their guy as he's coming down the steps to high five him because he just was able to get a ball in the air after a leadoff double that gets the runner over to third. Now we got a guy on third, less than 2 outs, and everybody is clapping. Everybody is ready for high fives in the duck. Shit like that. Things of that nature are great visual indicators for fans because outside of that, I have to talk about things that are happening in the clubhouse. But from a fan viewing perspective, watching the excitement of your players when they execute little things, and are they excited about their teammates executing little things in the moment? If they are, that tells you that everybody is probably playing a team-oriented brand of baseball. That's what you would like to see happen. You want cohesion, you want communication, you want selfless at-bats. These are the things that you want to start to be able to see, and you want to see a lot of at this time of the year. Because this is when you start to, when guys talk about teams learning how to win together, that is exactly what I'm talking about, is you learn how to give yourself up in the moment after a leadoff double, and you say to yourself, you know what? I know it's the end of July. I know it's August. I know we still got about a month or so left, but this is just one more ball game we can win here if I shoot this ball to the right side. I know I got count leverage 2-1. I might want to get big here, but you know what? Let me use that moment to really hone in on the pitch or the location that I'm willing to cheat to, and let me really try to get this job done instead of try to be the hero in the moment. Those are little things that start to breed winning and start to breed a championship mindset.
What about the things that we can't see?
Those are the things when we start to talk about accountability in the room. And are you taking care of business, right? And from a pitching perspective, it's as simple as, hey man, are we diligently still ironing out our mechanical movements? Are we still putting the work in between, whether that's shadow work? Are we in the video room taking care of our scouting reports? Are you contributing in the pitchers meetings, in the advanced meetings? Are you in the weight room taking care of things right? Just accountability across the board, Jared. And from a hitting perspective, a position player's perspective, I know it's July, I know it's August, and will eventually turn into September, and we have to start taking care of our bodies a little differently. But in that, are you paying attention to that? Are you doing the little things, right? Are we hammering the Pedialyte on the way down from the road trips? When I say way down, I mean quite literally as our plane is descending, right? Just little things, rest and recovery. Are you checking these boxes? Because those are as important as being able to hit behind a guy, as important as being able to hit the cutoff man, all the little foundational things that have to happen in your effort to get to October. Those are the little things that fans can't see, the level of accountability. And that's why I talk about having veteran presence in the room. Because when your best players are also your high character individuals, there is no choice for anybody in that building to do anything other than put your best foot forward daily. Because would you have your leader walk into this room and see you not doing something that you could or should be doing? Because the could turns into should around this time of year. When we start talking about the sizable division leads and we start talking about where we're trying to go, the shit you could have done, that was 3 months ago. This is shit that you should be doing. That has to happen.
So when just you talking about that, the first example that came to mind, and maybe you remember this because I know you also had to split because Meg was about to pop. But we were in Twins camp in 2019.
I didn't get to talk to Nelly.
Yes. And we were talking to Nelson Cruz. And at the time, I just looked it up. It was his age 38 season. He's 38 years old.
Hit 42 bombs.
Yeah, it's his new team. He hasn't been there. But he hit 41 bombs that year. And that was the year that the Twins had set the single season record for most home runs by a team. And I remember talking to Rocco because it was a 2-day thing. I think you were there for one.
I was there for one day. I didn't get to see him because Meg was getting ready to kick kids, so I had to fucking go.
Yes. So Rocco was like, this dude is in the weight room throwing up dumbbells and no one else has an excuse. If this dude is 38 and he's in the gym doing this, then what the fuck is your excuse? And that was spring training 2019, which means that they went on to hit the most home runs by a team ever that year. And yeah, I think you point to stuff like, like what the metrics would tell you that a 38-year-old DH by this point is probably not the best signing that you could add to your roster. But it's like, well, what about the impact that he has on the rest of the guys?
It's just, it's a tone setter, man. It's a tone setter, like the culture, right? Like I would be really genuinely curious if you were to sit down and talk to some of these data analytic teams and ask them what they feel is important to creating culture. And if they would ever get to a point where they would realize that what they are after doesn't always come in the form of player production on the field, meaning you could identify guys who are performing well on the field, and that's great. Those same individuals might not be geared up to be a leader. They might not be geared up to be the ones who set and maintain the culture that you are looking for, right? We all like to have a positive work environment. For me, I want to show up to work knowing that everybody that I'm around today is looking to do the very best that we can possibly do here. How do we put on the best baseball game for our fans who are watching? How do we do that, right? And it starts with, I want to believe it starts with my energy, my preparedness, my understanding of the game, my understanding of the team, and being able to convey those thoughts and articulate those thoughts. And then from our production standpoint, understanding how to read the baseball game, which cameras to go to, how to hang on to a scene just that much longer because we understand that there's flow here, like just all of those things. I just want to know that I'm surrounded by people who give a damn, who are going to be pulling in the same direction. And it takes leaders to be able to create that level of accountability and that culture so that when you show up today, the environment should be a get to, not a have to, right? And those are the type of people that I want around me, is folks who wake up and realize that what we're going to do today is something that we get to do. It's not something that you have to do, because that's a very different perspective to have. I want to come to the ballpark with people who realize how lucky we are that we get to do what we're doing today. This is an honor. It's a privilege. Roll your sleeves up. Let's get to fucking work and be the best we can be today. What other option is there? Why did you wake up? What are your eyes open for? I just don't know how to operate in a different way. And I want guys on the diamond, and I want guys in the room who feel that same way.
I got some sad breaking news. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, the Hulkster.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad, man. So obviously, the last time that he appeared on television a few months ago, they booed him out of the building in California because he's a huge Trump guy. And of course, he has he got exposed. Didn't realize that he was being recorded and said some racist shit. So like old Hulkster. We don't like Terry Bollea. Terry Bollea, not a good guy. But the Hulkster, the character Hulk Hogan, man, what a pioneer, what a visionary, what a pillar of the wrestling industry, one of the greatest entertainers who ever lived. Yeah, Terry Bollea.
I didn't hear. I'm glad I didn't hear about that. I don't even. I don't know what you're talking about with that other shit. That's brutal.
he got caught on a hot mic saying some racist shit. But that was Terry Bollea. Hulk Hogan would never, brother. So yeah, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. That's sad. It's sad that his last appearance probably devastated him. Like they booed.
What happened? Was it health issues?
Yeah, so like I had heard that they weren't calling it hospice, but they were describing hospice. Like they were like, yeah, like he's at his house, has a medical team around him at all times. I'm like, yeah, that's hospice, brother. But yeah, he was not doing well, I guess, in recent weeks.
So is Ric Flair still kicking?
Oh yeah.
So the Nature Boy outlasted the Hulkster.
Oh yeah.
I have a buddy who lives in the Tampa area, in Tampa specifically, and the stories that go around about Ric Flair. Oh my goodness gracious!
Well, hey,
I mean, he's just a bar rat. Like he just sits at the Tampa bars and really gets after it. Yeah, I mean, Hulk Hogan, man. I know we're gonna move on, but. Transcendent. Like I remember me and my brothers had you remember those big like stuffed animal things that you could like wrestle with?
Wrestling buddies.
Buddies.
I had them all, dude.
I had Ultimate Warrior and he had Hulk Hogan, and what a legend for his time.
I'm trying to think, was it WrestleMania 9? When him and the Warrior came out at the end, like after his match, I'm trying to think of who he beat.
Probably he lost to the Warrior because Warrior, he won the Intercontinental title and the WWF title at the same time.
Oh, but I have the vision of the Warrior running out, just sprinting out, and then coming into the ring. Who did he beat? Was it the Taker?
No. I know that's why. So Undertaker hates him as well because Undertaker, I want to say it was like a match, like Ric Flair put the chair in the ring and the Undertaker tombstone Hogan onto the chair. And then after the match, Hogan tried to make the Undertaker feel like he actually hurt him in real life. But then they go back and watch the video and he's like, his head didn't even fucking hit the ground. So like the Undertaker hates Hulk Hogan.
Really?
He's not very popular amongst his peers.
The Undertaker.
Seth Rollins very recently did an interview where he was like, fuck that guy. Like, I don't know. It feels like he died of a broken heart is what it feels like. Self-inflicted though, like he did a lot of this to himself.
Yeah. The Undertaker
brought a lot of it upon himself.
The Undertaker was fought Giant Gonzalez. And it was
outside.
Hogan.
Oh yeah, that's when when Hogan had the black eye?
Yeah, and because Hulk Hogan fought Hulkster fought
Yokozuna?
Yes, I was thinking E Honda, but it's fucking Yokozuna.
Yeah, Hogan had a black eye. The rumor is that Macho Man Randy Savage punched him in the face for getting with Miss Elizabeth. Ooh. And it was never confirmed, so we don't know. He said something like he like fell, but we think that Macho Man Randy Savage gave him a nice little shiner in real life, brother. But yeah, rest in peace to the Hulkster. I mean, again, Terry Bollea, not the best guy. Hulk Hogan, the character, what a legend. And yeah, it's sad that was his last appearance, just getting booed out of the building. But anyways, Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. I know that. Playing the pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. My picks yesterday should have hit. They didn't. And we missed out by one total base. We had 3 players in the pick'em. We got a grand slam, a double, and a single. And we were denied that last at bat because a full count check swing that was a check swing was called a swing and it was a strike 3. We would have had the opportunity to complete the 3rd straight victory in a row, but we got absolutely boned. Make sure you sign up for promo code Jared. Promo code Jared, Jared, to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Jared. No slander, just appreciation for one hell of a run is all we're going to allow.
That's appreciation for the run. And in your appreciation, you were talking about this? I don't know if this was offline, if I should be repeating this, but you said something about trying to get one of the interns to track down everybody who trailed you there so that you could compensate them on your own just because of the appreciation.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know that I said that because I don't know that we have interns.
No, I'm pretty sure that's an easy work. I mean, the database is there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got social security.
Jayhay, do you have an intern?
Do I personally have one, or am I the intern?
Do you have one?
I do not. No.
Do you need one?
Need? Probably not.
Would it be nice to have one
independently? But yeah, it would be great to have one.
What would you have an intern do?
Oh, what would I have an intern do?
Whoa.
Oof. I mean, see, you could say farm out some of the stats work, but that's what's most near and dear to my heart. So I'm not going to do that. That's artisan handcrafted. Yeah, I can't. Yeah. That is 100% what it's about. I can't. I would have to double check all their work, which means I should just be doing it in the first place.
Correct.
Yeah. What would I have them do? I don't know. They look down on having. Picks. Yeah. Probably nag people. I would probably have them send the texts and the calls that I don't want to do. And have them be the annoying person. So It's like, oh God, isn't it great? You know, Johnny's leaving, heading back to school. It's like, goddamn, never have to hear from that guy again. That's probably what I would use an intern for.
I just got asked if someone could shadow me. And I was like, well, no, I work from home. I work from home in a very small space like this. It's just me and Ace in here. He's now gotten to the point where he doesn't piss and shit in the house anymore. And when we do the podcast, he used to just like roam around and he would be walking behind the chair and it was very distracting. But now he lays over by the door and he's good to go for the whole pod. He doesn't piss and shit in here anymore.
It's because he knows that in terms of the food chain and the animals that inhabit the dwelling that he lives in, he's like bottom tier. Like you've got species of shit living in your walls and in your roof that at any point in time could venture out and snatch his little ass up and turn him into a midnight snack. So he is on his best behavior right now.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm not pissing or shitting anywhere. If I do that, I let these fucking evil creatures know where I'm at. Like I think he's wised up very quickly.
He's very smart.
I think a shadow opportunity would be hilarious. I'm thinking about somebody shadowing me.
Someone was just standing here the whole time, just watching.
Yeah, or just like they get to sit up in my office, and then we get to go and sit downstairs on the couch, and then we'll probably later sit on my bed, and then we'll sit outside because it's nice. But it's just moving my computer around the different locations and then watching baseball once the baseball starts. So, maybe they could get in on like emptying and loading my dishwasher. Some of like the ambient chores that I fill in around the gaps. But yeah, I think that could be, if properly edited, that could be a really dynamic video, I think.
That's definitely what I would have an intern do. I'd be like, all right, come to the office, which is my house. Take the dog out. Deal with Danielle so that like I don't have to talk to her.
Deal with my relationship if you could. If you could just do that, that would be great.
Take the trash out, do the laundry, all that stuff. Yeah,
raise my children.
Yeah, that's what I would have an intern do. Yeah,
you don't want to get Wally
Starbucks for the girls.
Careful.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. That's helpful to me. That's stuff that I don't have to do, and I could focus on work if I didn't have to do all that. So,
we all need help.
What? That's just. It would be
sounds like a man longing for a life of 3 or 4 years ago. That's all.
Yeah. Take me back to 2017, man. What a time. What a time. Just. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, showing up to New York City, the Big Apple, meeting Jayhay in Dallas for the first time, brand new opportunity, got an apartment to my damn self. I got a doorman who sells me weed. I don't have to go nowhere, talk to anybody sketchy. My office is a mile work down the road. What a fucking time. What a time.
Sounds
I love
like
how you can go to dispensaries today next to a Chipotle, and he's saying he didn't have to talk to anybody sketchy. He's getting it from a doorman.
The doorman, exactly.
Rest in peace to my doorman. Yeah,
I'm sorry. He ran into that one. Terry Bollea.
He not Terry Bollea, but definitely Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, my doorman in New York.
Oh no, I meant was Terry Bollea your doorman? I didn't know.
Oh no.
Stories together.
No. We would never buy marijuana from a racist. We wouldn't do that. It's not something we would do. So, but yeah, those were the days, brother. Those were good times. Shohei Ohtani hit a home run in his 5th straight game.
Speaking of
which was almost another buried story because the Los Angeles Dodgers, outside of that home run until the last inning, looked pretty lifeless. I don't know if you guys were watching this game live, but they just looked like they wanted to be anywhere other than that game. And ultimately it ended in a Freddie Freeman walk-off, which was fantastic. So it's interesting that other people were picking up on that Clayton Kershaw clip that we talked about on the podcast earlier in the week. where he ended his media session saying, I'm afraid that I'll say something I don't want to say publicly. And my interpretation of that was he doesn't want to call out his teammates publicly. I was listening to the Red Sox broadcast, and because the Dodgers are coming to town, they mentioned that clip, and they were like, well, yeah, maybe, Clayton Kershaw, doesn't want to call out some of his teammates and this and that. I don't think Freddie Freeman is someone that ever needs to be called out. No. Good, bad, if he's performing well, if the team's performing well, if the team's performing poorly, if he's performing poorly. Freddie Freeman seems to be one of those dudes that's just absolutely plug and play. And you're going to get the same maximum level of effort, of motivation, of give a shit. The fact that, he's made his money, he's won his MVP, he's won his rings, plural, and he was still out there chugging along with a bad ankle in the postseason last year. That's just the type of guy that you are getting when you bring in a Freddie Freeman to your organization. So the fact that he was the hero to end the game yesterday for the Dodgers, no surprise to me.
Well, and Freddie is one of those dudes who, when we start, if we go back to the conversation we were having about Dallas, what are things that you can see or identify in the clubhouse that tells you that a team is united, that tells you that a team is, together? Well, Freddie, a guy like him being in the room, that's another layer and a level of accountability, because think about what he's had to go through last season, right through the postseason with his ankle and doing everything he possibly could to man the post. And even while coming back this season, still receiving treatment, doing the things he needs to do, but doing it so where Freddie Freeman has not alienated himself from the team, but has in fact found a way to get the treatment done, to take care of himself, to get himself ready to play, and still be able to join the team, to participate in team stretch, team BP, team defense before the game, things like that. Because little things like that happen for teams, those are bonding moments. And again, it's hey, I understand the task at hand. Everybody in this room has certain things that we need to do, boxes that we need to check. And if Freddie's checking them all, I need to check my boxes as well. That's just, you remember how Joe Espada talked about the Astros and him not necessarily being worried about the Astros because he knew what he had in the room in terms of leadership, communication, the cohesion. I mean, Doc Roberts can say the same thing here, because I think ultimately you have a team, for better or worse, full of all-star talent that realizes what they're capable of when they play the brand of baseball that you need to be playing at the right time of year, and they will get to that. I mean, you got Kike Hernandez hammering fucking popsicles in the dugout. Like it just feels like there's not really like a care in the world, even though they're in the spot they're in right now. Like it just, I don't know. I mean, they're the fucking Dodgers, man.
Jayhay, I was actually asked, because this was a Family Feud question. It was what, scale 1 to 10? What's your worry level of the Dodgers? And I said 1. Someone had asked me prior to the walk-off win, has that changed at all? And it's a 2. Like, it's still very unconcerned. I guess if you are concerned at all, it's that they either already have or are on pace to break the record for most pitchers used in a season. I mean, Glasnow coming back and punching out 12, going 7, like that's a great sign. I think one thing we haven't mentioned on this show in particular, they went out there and they targeted the best reliever on the market, gave him a bunch of money, and he's been and he's also been hurt.
Now he's hurt.
Tanner Scott. Yeah. Like, if you take that shot, like, imagine how crippling that would be to most other teams. The Dodgers are just like, all right, next man up. Yeah. Like, they can just do that.
That speaks to their, and this is, if you have that depth, then you feel decent about where you're headed at the start of the season. You don't ever want to have to really truly explore the depths or the extent of that depth, but that's where they're at. That is exactly where they're at right now. And I know it's crazy to think that the Dodgers could be a team that are in the market for help, but I think we're talking about why they are a team in the market for help. No,
I mean, I think if we're being honest with ourselves and we're to answer Jared's question about the concern level, the feud question, like if we're being honest, I think we have to say that we're more concerned than we were prior to any games being played. Like I'm remembering what I thought about this Dodgers team to start the year, and it was, baseball is baseball, but juggernaut, right? By far the best roster in baseball, cruise to 100 wins. Let's see if they can get to 105, 110, 115. Like, who really knows, And we're 103 games into the season, and they're 60-43, which is amazing given the adversity that they have faced on the roster. But that's part of why they probably chose to build up the roster with the depth and the approach and just the overall impressive nature that they did, is to be able to withstand stuff like this. And to Jared's point about what that would do for any other team to lose Tanner Scott or any of the other individual things that we have talked about with the Dodgers, they would be crippling, right? But they're not with the Dodgers because of all the things that we've talked about. They have a 4.5 game lead. They're winning at a 580 clip, right? So, but same token, 580 clip, not exactly what we expected of this roster. So it's like a little bit of both, I feel like.
Think about, and this is what's crazy is think about how quickly we have, I don't want to say forgotten about, but how quickly Roki Sasaki and him not being present and contributing has just not been a factor at all, has not been a discussion point at all. Roki Sasaki was supposed to be able to come over here and quietly tuck into this rotation and was arguably your NL Rookie of the Year front runner and is nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's that. Honestly, I think because it wasn't that big of a financial commitment from the Dodgers, it wouldn't have been for anybody.
Right.
Had he gotten Yamamoto money, I think we're talking about a situation where you're like, is this do we trade this guy? Do we move on from this guy? Like, it's the vibes of just the first few months of his stint in the big leagues was like, ooh, this. It's not that it didn't feel like a fit. It was almost like he wasn't like a fit for the big leagues. Like, he was lost and hopeless. Like, that would be. I mean, that's the risk that you run with the international players. Thankfully, it wasn't the Yamamoto contract, but you bring a guy over here. It's like we don't really know each other.
The pageantry.
And I've just committed this much to you.
The pageantry is gone. The wheels of or the training wheels of excitement are off. And now you have to go out. You have to survive. You have to go out and get the job done. You have to go out and compete. And whether it was because of a physical ailment that was holding him back from being able to really turn into or pitch the way that he wanted to, he expected to, whatever it was. I mean, it's not happening. And the fact that they have the arms, the depth of arms that they have on their injured list. I mean, they have, I'm counting right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pitchers on the 11 pitchers on the 60-day IL. One of them on the 15, and that's Tanner Scott.
The names that you're looking at, because we're looking at the same list, obviously, that grouping of 12 pitchers would be what? The 8th best staff in baseball?
You're talking, yeah, and I'll rattle off the names. Tony Gonsolin, Kyle Hurt, River Ryan, Roki Sasaki, Blake Snell, Gavin Stone, Brusdar Graterol, Michael Grove, Michael Kopech, Evan Phillips, Tanner Scott, Blake Trinan.
I mean, that's a fully functional bullpen, basically. That you've got everything you need in that bullpen on the IL. Yes. That's plug and play. And that rotation is not the best, but it is a functional Major League Baseball rotation with a guy who can be a frontline starter at the front of it. And I was being a little flippant, but there are not many staffs intact right now that are better than what the Dodgers have unhealthy. Which is crazy. I think you're right. They will be in the market. And I think, they have objectively one of the worst bullpens in baseball. And that was, before the Tanner Scott injury. And I know he was part of why it was bad, not a solution necessarily, but he's not going to be helping them much moving forward, even if your expectations were higher for the second half. 4.43 ERA, and most of the teams behind them are just non-competitive teams in terms of bullpen ERA. So yeah, I think they'll be in the market. I think you have to hang your hat on the fact that this offense is still devastating. No surprise to anyone. It's still the first, second, third, fourth best offense, depending on what day you look. And, you know, I think one of the things that this podcast talked about in the lead up to Ohtani returning is we can envision a scenario where Shohei Ohtani is way more important for the Dodgers pitching plans come October than they would probably ideally think. And doesn't it feel like we're kind of headed down that sort of path? Like that kind of all hinges, it feels like, on whether Tyler Glasnow is upright, right? Because like you've got Yamamoto, Glasnow, and then what? And if
where are we at on Snell?
He's coming back, but like all due respect, gotta see it. Like I have to see these guys, like some of these guys throw. I'm not saying he's out for the season. I'm just saying like it feels like there's a path for Ohtani to be pitching way more quantity and important postseason innings than maybe we had when we were envisioning like, we'll bring them out of the bullpen to close it out and have them celebrate the World Series and go home. You know, it's like, well, you may need him to go 5 innings today or something like that.
That is kind of crazy to think about, that from a multitude of angles, that a team could be decimated this much by injury, but also that they could endure this much as well and still be. I mean, they're not the best team in the National League, but they're still a first place team.
No, and it does feel different players, different ebb and flow, but it does feel a lot like last season. And it feels like the conversations we were having about the team last season, and that they weren't quite as dominant as we thought. And they went on to win the World Series. And like, if they go on to win the World Series again, that to me is almost in a sense more impressive than just watching a 115 win fully intact juggernaut march through the season, because it will, the takeaway for me will be, and we're way far away from this, but if they do, it'll be, holy shit, we never even sniffed a fully functional Dodgers team in either of these seasons. Yes. And they just fucking walked through both years.
And that right there, that you are absolutely right, Jayhay, and I am with you. That is what is going to be the takeaway from me, is the way that they have constructed their roster and the way that they have been able to, and it's born out of necessity, but utilize and exercise their depth. Like, I don't know. I mean, is there another franchise that is even in a position to do this?
No, not with this depth. No.
I mean, how many, like, honestly, ask ourselves right now, out of every other team, 29 other teams, which team could sustain the hit of losing an entire starting rotation and an entire bullpen worth of arms, and not only still succeed, but have a first place lead in your division? Which team? Could the Mets do that? Could the Brewers do that? Could the Tigers do that? Could the Blue Jays do that? Could the Astros do that?
So I'll ask you guys this question. If you are a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball this year, and you've been healthy the entire year, and you have made all of your starts, you have made 20, or this week you've just made your 21st start of the year. How many starters do the Dodgers have who have made just 10 starts?
Oh, man. I'm going to say who have made 10 starts?
10. Double digits.
I don't know that they
3. And Clayton Kershaw is
one of them.
third. Clayton Kershaw is third on the team.
Kershaw, Yamamoto, and
Dustin May.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez.
And not the main story, by the way, but like the fact that Dustin May is upright but has not been really very good is another disappointing element to this. Like, yeah, all those other guys are injured. Dustin May's made 17 starts and thrown 99 innings and has an ERA that's 4.73. Like, I know he's coming back from injury and we're all working off rust and stuff like that, but the time is now, and he hasn't delivered either. Like that's
So Dustin May,
Well,
whether it's the injuries that caused it or it's by design to stay healthy, his velocity's down like 2 miles an hour, but he's already at a career high of 99 innings. Like he's still not at 100 innings. He's at a career high of 99 innings. And if you were to take his last 4 seasons and combine the innings totals, you'll still come in under what he's pitched this year.
And that's the simple reality check. That's all that is this is what happens when you have a career marred by injury, is you find like you feel like you're never in a spot where you've been consistently taking the baseball and growing into the pitcher that you wanted to become.
Yep.
jeez, man.
You all right?
Yeah. I just saw this tweet.
Jared's thinking about that diner.
Yeah, I just saw
Yeah,
this tweet said,
Good Lord.
Hulk Hogan might have been a massive racist, but nobody can deny he was a great professional wrestler. And in the end, that's what really matters.
Wow.
I texted my buddy Chris, who's a longtime listener of this podcast, huge supporter, and other than Jared, I mean, maybe the biggest wrestling fan I know, including Jared. I don't know. Maybe you guys could duke that out. But but I texted him right when you said the news, and he said, "Let me process this in peace, please."
Yeah.
I think he knew where all that was going to go, and probably just was like, "I'm gonna go ahead and take this piece of news on my own. Thank you very much." So, whatever you
Yeah.
need, bud.
People are
Whatever
just people. I mean, if you grew up in the '90s and a touch of the '80s, you're licking your wounds today. I mean, Ozzy, man, the fuck, like that was.
You a big Sabbath guy?
I wasn't like a Sabbath guy. I was a solo Ozzy guy. Like, I mean, like Sabbath would have been before my time, but yeah, solo Ozzy for sure. I mean, Ozfest, like the bands that Ozfest kind of catapulted are all like my favorite bands. But yeah, I was a big solo Ozzy guy, and yeah, that one, like I didn't I saw like the clips of, you know, the show where he couldn't stand up, like he did his last concert with like the original Black Sabbath guys, and then just like that, boom, he's gone. But
Maybe the first and last reality TV show that didn't make you feel like a jerk for watching it.
yeah, the Osbournes was great. I think it's crazy how many people discovered who he was from that show.
From the
Like,
Osbournes.
what
The
a
early
wild way to
the early
discover.
Osbournes were great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all shows run their course, I guess. Yeah. Except for
Like the
this one,
show became a
baseball's dead.
parody of itself at one point, but the first few seasons were as authentically great as reality TV can get.
Ozzy
for
just
sure.
doing crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
Ozzy's
it.
the best.
Love it.
Yeah. So to power rank our sadness, Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
Terry Bollea.
Oh,
That's fair.
Yeah.
wait. What about the Doorman?
Oh yeah, the Doorman. That's not super recent. It's definitely
No.
2025.
I know. He was mentioned,
so-
and I feel like leaving him
Oh,
off
so
the power rankings list is
Right.
tough.
And he would appreciate this segment because he always would tell me he had these ideas to do a podcast about being a doorman. And I was like, I don't think that's going to take off, but I'll listen. Like, I'll definitely check it out. So I'll go Ozzy, Doorman, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea. Yeah. I think even he might put Ozzy above himself in terms of like the power ranking of sadness.
It's great. I'm laughing. I was having lunch the other day, and a very dear friend of mine, he's somebody who does it like the sadness, you know, like that doesn't, I don't know that he I mean, he definitely feels it. It's an emotion that he's familiar with. But like how he processes it publicly is maybe different. And we're sitting down, we're in a Tom Thumb, okay, grocery store, at the Starbucks having breakfast, and he gets this. He looks up at me and he's just like, man, and I'm like, dude, what? Like I'm heavily anticipating the words that are gonna come out, because I'm just like, what, this guy, he's not like this. Like, what's? He's like, man, my buddy's cat died. He just like started laughing, and I was like, whoa, what? Like, I started laughing, and then I was like, but that's not funny. Why are we laughing? What's going on? He's like, I don't know. I just, you start thinking about things and you find humor in them. And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not on that train quite yet. Maybe you can help me get there. But you find people in their dark moments. But to his credit, later in the day, and this is during the game, I'm calling the game and I get this text from him. And he's like, bro, great news. The cat's alive. The cat's alive. The cat was just lost. And I was like, oh. So what he was like, yeah, I just interpreted the whole lost my cat. I interpreted that wrong. So that's on me. I was like, well, doesn't take away the fact that you are an inconsiderate asshole. I can tell you that.
Wildly irresponsible to just determine the cat is dead if it's missing. That's insane.
Wildly.
I would say Joseph's greatest contribution ever to Baseball is Dead was his cat dying.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, no question.
Yeah, like hands down, that was his crowning moment.
That was
great.
That was awkward.
Guess what, Dal? Guess what? My cat died today.
Yeah.
My cat died. And guess what his name was? Riley.
Riley. Yeah. Rest in peace.
So
Riley.
my cat died today. Fucking rest in peace. I might cry, but my cat died.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was old, 17 years old.
17.
My mom, I text my mom after the game, go Braves, Mom, we did it. She goes, yeah, Riley died.
No shit.
I'm like, what?
Oh, this is a real thing.
This is real.
My cat
I
died
walk
today, man.
into, we're recording this in Jake's hotel room. I walk into the hotel room. I sit down on the couch next to Joe. I look over at his phone and like, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, but I can see an M and I see that it's 3 letters. I was like, fucking pussy, what are you doing texting your mom? And he goes,
Oh no. Oh
like,
no.
yeah, bro, my cat just died. If you must know.
I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh at this.
It's really not funny, man. But it's not funny, but it's beautiful. You know what?
He or she died for the Braves. Yeah.
It's not funny. It's sad.
Like
but
Riley's last moments in this world was watching Austin Riley hit a fucking game-winning home run for the Braves, dude.
He was like, look, I could. As soon as it cleared, Joe, you got to know that cat gave his fucking soul for that homer. Nobody, literally nobody gave more to that game tonight than Riley. Like,
well, you guys are going to hell, and I'm going to the World Series, motherfucker. So hey, thank you, Riley. I love Riley. I love you, Riley, and I love Austin Riley.
I love Riley too, man. I'm
What
sorry.
a legendary puss.
I got my tears in my eyes.
legendary puss. Look at that. That's a great call, Jay. Legendary puss. Oh man,
He was a good cat. You know what?
He was a great.
Someday your pets will die too, guys. And I'll be here for you.
I told you I didn't want to laugh at this.
I hope they get as good a send off as that.
They won't because they weren't as special. They weren't as good as my fucking cat. My dogs and the cats and birds or whatever, they're just going to die one day. No one's going to know about it. My cat is going viral on the podcast and his name hit a home run and it's going to win the World Series for us.
Was he named after Austin Riley?
No, he was named way before Austin Riley was.
Austin Riley must have been like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old
When
cat.
Riley was born.
Yeah, to be honest, if it was named after Austin Riley and it's already dead, we should do an investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
a little
And
weird,
the
dude.
internet does not fuck with do not fuck
No.
with cats.
Yeah,
We have
Sounds
learned
like
that.
collusion to me.
Man.
Oh.
Well, what a send off. Hey, Joe, like a broken bat. Riley tied a hero. All right.
Tied a hero.
Dallas's eyes are like barely open in that video. Like, they are as red and puffy. Like his eyes look like bee stings.
What a moment in time, man.
That's as funny as it was the day it happened.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Riley. Add Riley to the list too.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's
so
he?
Probably like Ozzy,
Ozzy Doorman,
Doorman,
Hulk,
Hulk, Riley, Terry
Bollea.
Bollea. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. You got to take care of your pets, man. You got to take care of your pets. And here's how you do it. Thank God. Thank God for Rough Greens. Thank God for Dr. Dennis Black creating Rough Greens. Here's the good news if you want to take care of your pets. With thousands of testimonials and 5-star reviews every month, Rough Greens is now the #1 all-natural dog supplement in America. They have helped millions of pups like Ace, who's sleeping on the floor in front of me. He's having a great life. What a great life. What a great dog. Very beautiful dog. Stay active and be healthy, and your pup could be next. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. Fetch a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. All you have to do is cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use the promo code BID. That's rough, RUFF, greens.com. Promo code BID. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. Okay. There's some news-ish. There's some rumors that we want to discuss. But we can do that after Family Feud.
Oh, welcome back to Baseball is Dead Family Feud. I'm your man, Justin Havens. We took a week off, but the last time that we played, a lot of people called that the most thrilling finish in Family Feud history. So we're excited to run it back. The bar is very high. I believe who's up first this time? Sorry, I've lost track.
I think I'm
Dallas.
I
I believe
think
Dallas is up first, right? Yeah, because
Yeah.
we had the great finish with Dallas. Thinking he blew it, right? So Dallas is up first. Yeah, I mean, this is we stayed mostly baseball this time. So or entirely baseball. So won't have to expand that brain of yours too much, I don't think. How you feeling?
I'll be honest. I've felt better about things. I've felt better.
Why?
Yeah. I'm a little cloudy.
Why?
That's all right.
Oh, you're a little cloudy.
That's all right. We had
Nothing
a
we
long
can do
travel
about that.
night last night from Arlington to Houston. Didn't get in until about 1.
Arlington to Houston took you a while? Jeez. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Hold on. Let me just get my brain in a good place. Okay.
As always, it's out of 100 BID fans. Here are the results. Question number 1. Who is the biggest name that will be moved prior to or at the 2025 trade deadline?
Eugenio Suarez.
Question 2. How many players have a real, true argument as the greatest player of all time in baseball?
3.
Who will end the 2025 season as the league leader in home runs?
Shohei Ohtani.
Which team, this is question 4, which team is under the most pressure to make a trade at the trade deadline?
Oh, the Mets.
Question 5. Yeah, I wouldn't feel great about it. If Jared was given 10 at-bats against Rich Hill, how many hits would he get?
0.
Thank you.
The fucking Mets, Dallas? The fucking Mets?
Yeah, I'm not sure where you came up with that one, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, it's not a terrible answer, obviously.
It
but
is. It's a terrible answer. It's an awful answer.
Yeah. It's not the one you wanted, I think is the best way to say it.
Fuck.
Uh-oh. That's the first thing I heard. Fuck.
Well, I could have been a lot better in. Yeah. I don't want to.
No, I mean, on the whole, we're looking good. Do you want to know the number?
Is it over 100?
Yes.
Okay, then no.
Oh,
okay.
Serviceable.
Yeah, he did fine. I think he just, we'll see whether the numbers play out this way, but Dallas feels like he really fumbled one question. That's what you were seeing.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
All baseball this time. Okay.
I'm shooter, kid. I'm you.
Question number 1. It's always, as always, out of 100 BID fans, the best fans in the world. Thank you to the Discord. Question number 1. Who is the biggest name that will be moved prior to or at the 2025 trade deadline?
Eugenio Suarez.
Sorry.
Fucking Sandy Alcantara.
Question 2. How many players have a real, true argument as the greatest player of all time in baseball?
Oh, 3? Fuck you! You just scared my dog. 4. Sorry, buddy. He is sleeping. He just jumped up and ran towards me.
Question
4.
3. Question 3. Who will end the 2025 season as the league leader in home runs?
MLB?
Yes.
Cal Raleigh.
Which team is under the most pressure to make a trade at the trade deadline?
Ooh, the Yankees.
And last question. If Jared was given 10 at-bats against Rich Hill, how many hits would he get?
7.
What the fuck? What? You just shit them. You just fucked us. That's exactly what you did. You intentionally hosed us. Intentionally.
No. I mean, you want me to answer it right, or do you want me to answer what I think the idiot voters did?
Well, that would be the right answer.
My. This is going to be interesting with that question.
Gee, I cannot believe you just ripped up a W like that for your own fucking ego. This is incredible.
That's the truth.
I'll tell you right now. For the
before
folks
I walk
wondering,
through this, let me do a quick math. Hold on.
Yeah, you can do your quick math, Jayhay. What we just saw transpire right now is a teammate who, with the runner on second, was not able to get the ball to the right side. And instead of taking his helmet back to the bat rack and putting his bat back and getting up on the top rail, he threw his helmet, threw his bat, ripped his batting gloves off, threw those to a fan, and is now in his fucking locker pouting while we're trying to figure out how to pick him up. That's what you just saw here.
Jared digested what you said about what does it look like when a team wants it more and said, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Will it cost them? Question number 1. Who is the biggest name that will be moved prior to or at the 2025 trade deadline? Both people went for Suarez. Dallas went first today, so he got the 37 points. That was the number 1 overall answer by far. Sandy Alcantara, 3 points. So that was tied for the 7th most common answer. Second answer was Dylan Cease. Third most common answer, Jarren Duran. So we have 40 points out of the first question, which is obviously, exactly what you're looking for out of a question as a unit. Question number 2. How many players have a real, true argument as the greatest player of all time? Dallas said 3. which Jared also tried for. That was the number 1 overall answer. Another 37 points. So we are up to 77 now. Jared pivoted to 4, which in my opinion, that's what I think the answer is. Not that it matters. That's 21. That is the 3rd most common answer. So we're up to 98 points through 2 questions. Sorry. Yes, 98 points through 2 questions. Question 3. We're trending fine here. Who will end the 2025 season as the league leader in home runs? Dallas? Shohei Ohtani was the choice. That was the 3rd most common answer. Unfortunately, it only yields 7 points.
What?
7
Yikes.
points,
Costing us big time, DB.
which gets you to 105. Jared went with the current league leader, which is Cal Raleigh. That's 54 points, the number 1 overall answer, which means you guys are up to 159 points with 2 questions remaining. That's for those not good at math. That's 41 points you need over the final 2 questions.
We got this,
We know what
DB.
we know
Lock
what
in.
lurks at the end.
Lock in.
Aaron Judge 32, the number 2 answer in between those 2. Question 4: which team is under the most pressure to make a trade at the trade deadline? DB of all the teams in Major League Baseball said the Mets. Unfortunately, the Mets were tied for the 8th most common answer,
That's
and
crazy.
it yields only 2 points.
You want to say I cost us? These are the worst answers of all time.
What? The
That's up
Mets
to
was a
one.
bad answer. But that's not the
No,
one.
he
I mean,
knew
come
that.
on.
Yeah.
He'll own that one. 161 we're up to.
Fuck.
Incrementally higher. We're 2 points higher than we were before Dallas provided the Mets answer. Jared said the Yankees. I think that's the answer. The fan said it's the 2nd most common answer. You get another 23 points. So you bump up to 184.
So we need
Which means
13
we have-
points? No, 16.
You need
Well, then
16
my answer
points.
to this last question wins this for us.
Red Sox were the number 1 overall answer to question 4 with 37 points. Cubs number 3 at 12. Jared, on the last question to how many hits he would get Rich Hill, said 7. I'm going to take the drama out of this one and reveal that yields 0 points.
What?
0 points.
Bullshit.
So you're
Voters
stuck
are
at
so dumb.
184.
Oh.
The funny thing is that if you had said 6, you would have gotten 1 point. If you had said 10, you also would have gotten 1 point. Unfortunately, you said 7, which yields 0 points.
Well, that was
Dallas-
trying to be realistic.
Well, Dallas said you would get 0 hits. 0 out of 10. He needs 60, or you guys need 16 out of this question to be winners. 0 points was the number 1 overall answer.
Let's go.
54
Let's
points.
go.
Wow.
That's wrong.
Wow. Number and 1 hit was the 2nd most common answer. For that matter, that also would have won here for 25 points. 79 of 100 respondents said 1 or 0 hits for Jared.
Yeah, I mean, I got 7. I got
Good
7.
job to you guys. Another win. Another win.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey.
there's only one way to find out. I mean, he lives right down the fucking street. Like we could do this whenever he wants. But yeah, I'm probably
Well, not now.
I'm gonna-
He's on a team now.
I'm gonna need you to take a moment and just try to remember the team you're playing for. Okay, that's all I need you to do. Take a moment.
yeah,
And remember,
We won.
none of this way. You're right. We did in the face of an
you
individual's
took all my answers. You took all my
performance.
answers.
Buddy,
You
that's
did.
all part of hitting leadoff. All right. You have to come in and clean up. You got to come in
Yeah,
and
I did.
clean up.
We won. Yeah, we won. I think a lot of the answers that you picked, I also picked, and I had to pivot to something lesser than. But had I gone first, things would have been the same. Probably better.
Wow. I won't
Probably
even, maybe
better.
I won't even have to come up with hard questions to crumble your guys' dynasty. You'll just do it from the inside. You'll just be bickering
Well,
that takes you down.
No, see, this is a behind closed doors meeting.
It's unbecoming of Dallas to doubt me against, especially against a lefty. Like if it was like, I don't know, is there a 46-year-old right-handed pitcher? It's like, all right, I probably would have went with a more modest 2 or 3.
Speaking of lefty, it's like you being a left-handed hitter facing a left-handed pitcher with the game on, or you're a switch hitter with a left-handed pitcher on the mound, and you go up to the plate with the game on the line, and you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to hit left-handed today because I need one more hit to get to 1,000 career hits lefties against lefties because I'm that big of an asshole. I've been doing this my whole life. I'm going to do that right now. We're like, Jared, we just need a rollover and we win the game. And you're like, yeah, but you know what? I want to go left on left today.
I'm just saying, like, I don't remember the last time I faced a lefty and didn't get a hit. You know what I mean?
Well, look, I haven't seen it. I don't, that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened.
That charity game that I played in a couple summers ago, the kid he was from BC as a D1 lefty. And
Jared, by very definition, it's a charity game. He was giving you an opportunity to do it. I mean,
no.
Charity.
No. He was, everyone who faces me treats it like it's game 7 of the World Series. You saw Pat pissing his pants last summer. He was like, I can't get this guy out, so I'm going to fucking drill him. And that's what he did.
Put one in your liver.
Yeah. Huge pussy. He was like, there's no way I'm getting this guy out. So he drilled him.
I played catch yesterday at the field.
Yeah.
I'll play catch again today. So I am already on the road to be able to perform in that game.
Oh yeah, I faced you too. You suck. I hit one to the fucking warning track.
You are
lefties.
Delusional.
I own lefties, dude.
Delusional. Good Lord.
That's on video.
Yeah.
Ball went to the wall. I half-assed it, and I believe I was drunk. So, like, imagine
easy.
Imagine what I would do sober and like actually trying against you.
Oh God.
Yeah. If you ever want to do live ABs, let me know. Call up the fucking lefty slayer.
Oh,
right here.
I'll tell you right now. You let me get this whip right. You let me get functional off a mound, and I will fucking ruin your day.
This is the viral content, baby. Yes.
You
exactly. Two going at each other.
You know what they say? You scared, get a dog. Fucking perfect timing, Ace. Perfect timing.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, what are you guys yelling about over here?
Quit yelling at my dad.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, my dad could hit any lefty. My dad could hit Randy Johnson. That's true. I could do that right now.
I mean, yeah, maybe if he was parked at a fucking stoplight in front of you and you rear-ended him, that's about the extent to which you could hit Randy Johnson.
No, that's crazy to say. He's still petrified because I screamed fuck during the thing. He hasn't moved from over here.
You should think about creating a safer environment for your animal.
Well, he knocked over my underdog football helmet that was over there. So I think he thinks that the helmet is like alive.
Jealousy, maybe?
Yeah. Okay. There's a couple little things. We talked about Tanner Scott to the injured list. Shane McClanahan, his rehab, he tweeted about this, like being frustrated, like that sucks. Like that's a big blow to Tampa. I mean, they're in the mix, but they're on the bubble. They're a team that's on the bubble who probably wouldn't be on the bubble if they had Shane McClanahan.
No, things would be different. Yeah, and it sucks because Mac is not only a big part of what they could be doing, but I mean, he's a great dude as well. And I hate to see guys like him go through the shit that he's going through right now. And I really, truly hope that it is just something that makes him that much better when he is finally back on the mound, healthy and performing.
They being the Rays also optioned Taj Bradley. So that's another loss to their rotation.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, hang with them. Were there any other rumors that you guys want to hit on?
We don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but I think the idea that the Padres, I mean, we've sort of been bandied about a little bit, but just the C stuff, I think is, it's how Preller operates. It's how the Padres operate. you're selling him at a time where it would be hard to convince anyone that his value is at its peak. And I know sometimes with all this selling and buying that Preller and Dipoto and guys like that like to do, like you can kind of lose track of what's been surrendered, what's been acquired and stuff like that. But I would be very curious to see what Dylan Cease would yield in a trade right now, given the gap between expectations and performance, given the gap even between ERA and FIP, which is one of the largest in the league right now. And he was coming off another, frustrating, mediocre, not very good, whatever you want to call it, start last night. So yeah, that was at least intriguing to me. And then the D-backs and the Reds having quote unquote mutual interest in a Suarez deal. I don't think we'd mention the Reds as a destination for him. But when I saw that, yeah, or for anybody, yeah, you're right. But when I saw that, there was a part of it that made a little bit of sense to me. Like, if you're bringing Tito Francona in to manage your team, like, he's probably not coming in to manage. Maybe he is, but I wouldn't think he's coming in to manage and just like fucking be there for the ride if the team is somewhat in the mix. And by definition, the Reds are still somewhat in the mix if we're talking about the D-backs and the Cardinals and all these other teams. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. And, with some of these younger teams or these teams that are mid-market or smaller market, I think we always assume, or maybe I'll speak for myself, that they're building towards a greater future. And in some of these teams, like, that present is now, even though we think of Ellie De La Cruz and be like, well, he's so young, they've got a 5 or 10 year window. No, they have a window like right now, which is while he's inexpensive and while Hunter Green's under contract, and you have these things. And I think they're probably viewing it as we're more invested in the present than maybe the casual fan would assume about the Cincinnati Reds. That's kind of what my lingering thoughts were on the rumors. Dallas?
I just, as far as Eugenio goes, I think it's funny that, all these teams that are interested in him are places that he has been. And so I think some of it is, we're familiar with our guy. We would love to have him doing what he's doing right now for us in this moment, because that could help us. I think one of the rumors, I'm interested to see how, or if there's anything that comes of a healthy return of Shane Bieber. Is there time for Bieber to come back, pitch, and just, is one start? Is it 2 starts? I mean, what are we sitting at today? July 23rd, 24th. So, I mean, he's going to be making one start before a team would have to make a decision on whether or not that's somebody that they want to go and acquire. I would love for Biebs to be able to not only come back, make that start, make it healthy, have it be a good one, and maybe find himself in a place that could potentially be serious about the consistent pursuit of postseason baseball. Is that biased? Yes.
Maybe, but not unfair. We love Biebs here. How about some award-winning Nuggs, Jayhay?
Happy to provide, as I always do, for the best fans in the world, and for you guys too. I mean, I feel like I get into the kitchen for you guys as well, and Ace.
Yeah, I learn a lot from you.
I'm sure you do. Thank you for saying that. Even if it's not true. Dylan Cease, as I said before, 4.59 ERA, but a 3.58 FIP. That's the 4th largest gap between ERA and FIP in that direction among qualified pitchers, behind only Sandy, Jesus Luzardo, and Sonny Gray. 3 of those 4 pitched last night. Kyle Stowers was all over this. I think I was pretty early on him, if we're going to call it like it is. Another extra base hit last night. He's up to 369, 460, 881 since June 22nd. Over that span, that's 100 plate appearances. Nice round number. He ranks first in F4, first in on-base percentage, first in slugging, and tied for the most extra base hits in baseball. Shout out Nick Kurtz, the guy that he's tied with as far as the extra base hits. This is not my stat, but Opta Stats had a fun Red Sox one that I started looking up, and then I saw that somebody had tagged me in their stat, so I didn't bother. They are the first team in MLB history last night to strike out at least 15 times, give up at least 5 homers, and face a 5 or more run deficit, and yet still win the game. So that's kind of fun. If you watched the Red Sox game last night,
Sure did.
I'm sure you did. Since the game since games resumed after the break on July 18th, The Detroit Tigers, they rank last in batting average in 188, 29th in OBP at 261, last in slugging, and have scored 9 total runs since the All-Star break. That's also last. The next worst team has scored 17 runs, so almost double that. Taylor Trammell, active on the base
T
paths
squared.
in a way that, what's that?
T squared.
That's right, T squared. Active on the base paths in a way that we have not seen in years. He stole and attempted his first base since 2022. Also suffered his first caught stealing since 2022. 3 years. So yeah. He got one and got caught. So shout out to him. 3 years without a stolen base attempt is kind of something, even with the up and down nature of Trammell's career. Quinn Priester shouted out the last time he started, or when we talked about the Brewers. 2.53 is his ERA now over those last 14 starts after another one last night. 2.35 over his last 5 and a 1.89 over his last 3. Royce Lewis is now up to 329, 389, 541. That's a 931 OPS over his last 26 games, including 7 for 14 with 3 homers over his last 4. Shout out to the guards, even though I believe I said yesterday to someone who was listening to me, or probably not even listening to me, that I wanted the Guardians to aggressively sell at the deadline. That's what would make me most happy. They are over 500 for the first time since June 26th, when they were 40-39. So if the Tigers keep losing, hey, anything's possible. Chandler Simpson is up to 341 batting average and a 777 OPS, which sounds whatever, but is incredibly impressive for somebody with his skill set, and 12 stolen bases in 24 games since his recall in late June. That was always a bit of a puzzler, but he's even better since he got back. Jared mentioned Glasnow. He had a start of 12 strikeouts and 1 walk last night. The most starts in the Dodgers for the Dodgers in the wild card era, featuring 12 or more strikeouts and 1 or 0 walks. Kershaw has 20 of them. Kevin Brown has 3, and then Tyler Glasnow and Walker Buehler 3 each. Bryce Harper, power stroke, coming back. 9 homers through his first 64 games. He's got 5 homers through his last 10 games, including his 350th career homer last night. Pretty cool, quote unquote milestone. Kyle Schwarber also homered 34. That's the 3rd most through 102 games now in Phillies franchise history, behind only Ryan Howard in 06 and Mike Schmidt in 79. Nick Lodolo is the third Reds left-handed pitcher in the wild card era to have a shutout featuring 0 walks, and the first since Travis Wood in July of 2010. The only other one is John Smiley, September 22nd, 1996, former Cleveland great John Smiley. And lastly, shout out to 2 legends, 2 future Hall of Famers who did stuff last night. Mike Trout hit his 396th homer last night. He's up to 18 on the season, and as anyone who can do some math knows, that puts him 4 away from 400. He will be the 15th player ever to have 400 homers and 200 stolen bases when he hits that 400th homer. And for those who like RBI, he's 1 RBI away from 1,000 for his career. He's got 999. So I know we're all in our post-Mike Trout phase, but still a Hall of Famer, still one of the greatest players that any of us have ever seen, scraping by with like a 125 OPS plus. So it's not super shitty. Still a good player. And then Justin Verlander. He did it, folks.
There he
did
is.
it. Ben Verlander's long national nightmare is over. Justin Verlander got his first win of the season in his 17th start last night.
Wow.
Yeah, the last pitcher, I had to do some dig. This was, talk about artisan handcrafted. The last pitcher to make 16 appearances to begin a season, all starts, and have 0 wins was Scott Ellerton for the Rockies and Cleveland in 2004. But what you might notice there is that was for 2 teams. He got traded in the middle of that streak. He also won in his 17th start, just like Verlander. Verlander is the only pitcher in Major League Baseball history, and I went through a lot of box scores in the early 1900s this morning, to be winless through the first 16 appearances of a season, all starts, no relief appearances mixed in there at all, while pitching for 1 team. He's the only person to ever suffer the fate that he did, that he was enduring prior to last night. But he's off the schneid now, and and he finally got that win. And he said, I did see the audio from him last night that said it was nice that he was finally able to contribute to the Giants' effort this season. That's got to be an incredibly weird feeling. I'll use this as my final thought to be as accomplished as Justin Verlander and be so used to just going out there and having the wins follow, A, because you're awesome, and B, because, you know, it kind of just works that way if you keep taking the ball. And for him to be, you know, it is goddamn almost August before he got his first win of the season. Probably takes more mental strength and fortitude to not fall apart in that sort of situation than I think the average viewer, fan, me included, would assume about a professional athlete enduring that.
Not to, and I mean, maybe I'll make this my final thought to expand on that. The idea that we feel like Justin Verlander is chasing 300, right? And what kind of perspective does this season give him in that pursuit? Does that, if you had lofty goals or lofty expectations about what you could potentially do, does this put it into perspective? And if so, to your point about the mental fortitude to be able to grind through it, because it's almost like, look, if this is what I'm chasing and this is what I'm after, and I just had this kind of season, like there's no getting this season back. I needed X amount of wins in this season for this pursuit to be a real thing here. Does this set me back so much so that pursuit is now all but gone? And is it time for me to saddle up the horse, find a sunset?
I have a couple final thoughts today. Both San Francisco Giants related. Happy 61st birthday to Barry Lamar Bonds. 61 today, Barry. The greatest baseball player who ever lived.
Could still hit third.
Yeah. And we're going to have to redo our power rankings. Rest in peace, Alex, the therapy rabbit. I don't know. Do you know Alex at all, Dallas?
Yeah, the therapy rabbit at the Giants games.
Yeah. Big, fat, fluffy rabbit has passed away. Very famous amongst the Giants fans. He would get passed around the stands. Everyone would pet the rabbit. So rest in peace, Alex, the therapy rabbit. So I'm going to go probably Alex, the therapy rabbit, Ozzy Osbourne, my doorman, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if I the therapy rabbit moves up on my list a little if I get to wear him for a hat. Because it's cold in the Bay, night games. I'd like to keep Alex's memory and presence alive.
Yeah. All right. Is that everyone's final thoughts? Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay. Everyone enjoy your weekend of baseball. Very exciting. Red Sox, Dodgers, excited for that. Wish I could go to the fucking games. I can't. I'm going to be doing the broadcast on Friday. So excited for that. Me and Pat and Alana Rizzo doing the alt cast on Friday for Red Sox Doyers. And then I got Rod Stewart on Saturday.
Oh,
Rod Stewart.
Yep.
Still
Rod
Stewart cranking him out, huh?
Do you have a favorite Rod Stewart song?
Have I told you lately that I love you? Ace loves it. And have I told you there's no one else above you?
Wow.
I think Maggie's got to be.
I always knew you had a vagabond heart.
Yeah.
Wake up, Maggie. I think I got something to say to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I mean, you hear that right now. Like, you close your eyes and you hear that. You're telling me you're not thinking like that guy needs a fucking golden ticket to go to Hollywood. Like, that guy is a round two guy. Right?
Yeah.
Here, close your eyes. Ready?
You.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wake up, Maggie. I mean, that right there. That right there gets me to Hollywood. That gets me the golden ticket.
It was like an involuntary spasm. It was like,
Yeah.
But just think about it.
It took me to like a bridge in San Francisco where like someone was performing for cigarettes.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Say
ready to
jump?
jump off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking about the
Took me to the
performing, not
final
people
moments of my
listening.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, just think
Yeah.
about wake up. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just think about it.
Just yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm deeply depressed now. Thanks, DB.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend of baseball. We'll see you guys there.
We gone.